Kill shot. What's up, kids and folks at home? We're going to make some calls in California, even though it's burning to the ground. I also want you guys to jump into the top chat and ask questions. If you're brandy new to what we do here at Free Laundromat, we do that. We scoop up these businesses for free. And nothing's free, Danny. Try not to be an idiot. If you buy someone's laundromat that exists in rented space, you're buying someone's failure, in my learned 20+ years experience. Why would anyone sell a successful cash business? They're selling a business that's failing them. The preponderance of the individuals who bought these businesses spent far too much. Again, in my opinion, $1 is too much. It's in rented space. There's no magic to laundromats. The goal here is to get an actual landlord or two on the phone. That doesn't always happen. These are slumlords and their agents. But I'm always going to interact with you, so jump into the, I can't seem to say jump. I'm a bit ill. Jump into the top chat, ask some questions. I'll get to all of them. I hope you are well. Merry New Year.
All right, how you doing, Dan?
Ron, what the hell's going on over there? Merry New Year.
Yeah, everything's burning up out here. Shit.
That's not going to stop you from calling landlords, though.
I don't know. Let's do it.
We have
You still there?
where would I go? We have a store. I'm looking at
you.
your notes. We have a store that is hidden away. Certainly in 20 years, none of my clients have ever put this in front of me. So this store is behind a liquor store. Tell me the makeup. What does the parking lot look like? What's the makeup?
Oh, well, the parking lot is huge in the back. You know, you drive in, you have probably 6 spots to park, but once you get past those 6 spots, boom, it just opens up to, there's probably 20 parking spots back there.
For the laundromat, ideally.
For the yeah, I mean, laundromat and the liquor store.
What else is, what other businesses are there?
That's it.
Okay, 2 businesses.
The liquor store.
Plenty of parking. We've got the liquor store sign looks like it's from the 50s. It's kind of cool. And they've got that partial fence around there that you see in LA County quite a bit. Bunch of junk. You found this place how? How did you actually locate it the first time?
Just driving around. I go, oh, look, Coin Laundry. Where is it? You know, I see a liquor store. So I turned around, went in there, saw it in the back. No one was there. Went back again. The place was closed at 4 o'clock. Went at nighttime.
There's an indication. Why keep it open after 4 p.m.? Let's let the parking lot open up to the liquor store customers and let them hang out, have some drinks, do some tailgating.
Yeah, and then went at nighttime, and there were some homeless people in the back. Yeah,
I'm embarrassed. You know what? Here it is, 2025, and this industry is still full of thousands of morons that run these businesses this way. It's not a real business. Yeah. I deal with the landlords who say, I want the laundromat to go away because it's a terrible business. We'd rather lease it
it's probably just
to a labor ready or an empty space. Say again?
Yeah. It's probably just pocket change for them. You know?
Well, they don't understand. And it goes back to the equipment. It goes back to the investment, the massive front-loaded investment in the equipment. And they don't know how to depreciate it properly. They don't know how to write it off on their taxes. So they do what? They try to fix it a little bit, Then they start to pull parts off of machines, and you'll see this if you know what you're looking for. When you walk in, oh, there's 10 machines that have no fronts on them, and there's 10 machines that still work. They're piecemealing them together. So I'm looking at the photos you provided. Dear customer, sorry for the inconvenience. At least this is printed. It's not handwritten. But if you need quarters, please ask the cashier in the liquor store. What does that tell you?
I don't know. He just doesn't know how to operate the laundromat, or is there theft going on? I don't know.
Well, think about it. It tells you
Or
instantly that the liquor store owner owns the laundromat. You'll never, ever, ever. What you'll see when they're separate entities is a sign that says, don't go into the liquor store and ask us for fucking quarters.
quarters. Yeah, that's true.
You need to learn with your pipe and your pith helmet how to look at these clues. Dear customers, sorry for the inconvenience. Why am I reading all of this? Dear customers, who else is going to read this? Satellite?
Yeah.
Just right. If you need quarters, ask the cashier in the liquor store. Thank you. Now, by the way, change machine doesn't work. Why would it? Why would you want somebody to be able to have some convenience? All right, so this place is operating only till 4 p.m. on a given day.
I'm not sure. All I know is I went on a Saturday and it was closed at 4.
Of course. You went into the liquor store and said what to whom?
Oh, I went to the clerk to find out who the landlord is, or the management company for that complex. And he says, oh, the owner, he only comes in usually in the morning hours. So do you have a name? He goes, no, here, just take this number for the liquor store. He's here in the mornings.
Okay, so
that's all I could get from him.
He provided you the telephone number for the liquor store, which you could have obtained from the internet or by standing out in front of the place. So he didn't do you any favors in reality. What's the landlord or the operator's name?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't give it to me.
You got to get the name, man. You know, you're at least try. I mean, it's not if you say, look, I'm looking to do a very, very big deal here. Or the next day you call there at 7 o'clock in the morning. You got to bullshit, right? Hey, I've got what are you good at in the kitchen? What do you make well, Ron, if anything?
Oh man, probably tacos.
Well, you don't sound like a Hispanic gentleman, but fine. You say, listen, I've got 39 taco trucks all over LA County, and I want to park one in your parking lot. I'm going to give you a test run. I'm going to give you and everybody that works there free lunch for a month. Not looking for anything from you, nothing at all. I just want to see if you bring enough traffic in that it'll make sense for us to put a truck there. Best tacos you've ever had in your life. I'll come by on Friday. I'll serve everybody there and all your customers for free just to get everyone's attention. Okay. Very good. Sounds good to me.
Gotcha.
My name's Ron. What's your name, sir? He'll spell his first and last. It's not hard, and I'm not saying everyone should do exactly that. You're starting with something that you know how to make good tacos. So the guy's not going to add. The fear is what? He's going to say, well, how many ounces of cilantro do you put in every 6 tacos? He doesn't give a shit. You're giving him something for free.
Yeah.
This is a real symbiotic relationship. It sounds real. You want to stripe his parking lot for free because you got a grant from the government. You want a X, you want a Y, you want a Z, whatever. Give them what they want so that you can get some information for me. I don't mind going in cold. I'm good at that. But now I'm calling a number at a liquor store to see if we can get the guy. And you're telling me, well, the guy's probably not going to be there anyway. But here we go. And what else do I need to know? Okay. I mean, you know me. We'll make these calls in 10 seconds. I don't need a lot of information. What is free laundromat? We're giving them what they want. We're saying, look, stop closing the doors at 4 p.m. Why would this guy hand you the keys to this laundromat? He runs the liquor store. He comes in the morning. He's a morning guy, and he leaves, and he probably locks the laundromat as he leaves. So he's probably there till 4. So we've got a good hour and 15 minutes. Probably, because we're, again, got our pipe and our monocle, and we're looking at the clues. Whoever he is, it's Moran's Liquor, so who knows? Maybe his name's Joe Moran, but that's probably an old name from the 50s. It's a pain in the ass to change the name.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
What are you giving him? Why would he give you the keys? If you don't understand it, I don't know how we're going to do this together. What you sell me, I'm the liquor store owner and you're you. What are you giving me?
Hell, a rent check.
I'm already making money in the laundromat.
Oh, okay.
That's how you negotiate? You say, oh, okay, and you kick rocks and leave? Is that what you expect from me?
Well, I'm not a negotiator. I'm not a negotiator.
But I just want to see if you understand what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and what we're offering to this guy. I'm the landlord, you're you. Why would I give you keys to my laundry?
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not a negotiator here. Why would you give me the keys? I mean, I'm interested in the laundromat. You know, I want to make money here. I want to be able to bring more customers into the center.
Yeah, but all you're doing is telling me what you want to do. That's not a negotiation. You want to do this. Okay. This guy doesn't give a shit about the community. He closes the doors in the laundromat where the large parking lot is every day, and he lets the homeless come filter in because they're buying a 6-pack. Way to go. This isn't a community. Does this liquor store have a drive-through?
No.
It should. I like a liquor store with a drive-through. If I'm in the community, I can roll up in my Mercedes and I don't have to get out. I don't have to go in there. I don't have to deal with anybody.
That's pretty old school.
No, I mean, they have places in Texas. It doesn't mean you have to drink. You're just picking up the to-go. They have places all over Texas.
Drive through the building.
No, it's on the side, just like you don't drive through the building. Now, they have those in Texas. I think they call them liquor barns, where you drive right through the middle of the place. Yeah. They just showed one in an episode of Landman. It was awesome.
What you need.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's not get off topic. All of this is academic right now, and the zig comes after the zag.
Okay.
Sir, I want to give you a rent check. Well, I'm already making money. Well, if the amount that you're earning is X, and I'm not going to say 10 grand a month because I'm not offering 10 grand. Numbers are finite. If I say, well, if you're earning $10,000 a month in that laundromat, you should keep it. I'll say 2 because he's probably not even making that. What do we have beyond that? What can I say beyond that? He says, well, I'm making more than 2,000. What do you say next? Okay, you don't know. How much time are you spending to get that 2 grand, bro? I'm giving you your time back, which is invaluable. You've given me tidbits, clues. He leaves in the morning. He's a morning guy. The place is closed. The laundromat's closed at 4. Then his employees or his cousins or his nephews take over the liquor store. Let's give him what he wants. Give him his time back. You never have to lock the doors back there again. And by the way, we're running it. The parking lot is well lit. The homeless are gone. I can't help this guy if he's stupid enough to think that 5 homeless people are buying a 6-pack is really what he needs. Okay, anyway, let's call the guy up. Here we go. This is exciting, and this is when you subscribe. Oh, that's good. Right now. Did you call the number at all? Did you dial it?
No.
Well, I'm getting a fast busy, which they could be on the phone. They could be on both lines. Let's not start shitting in our hand just yet. Let's try it again. Hey, I know you subscribed. How am I going to get this guy on? What would you say next? Put it in the comments. Got to be personable. Can't sound like a fucking salesman. Got to get somebody to answer.
Please enter your remote access code.
Okay. It's a landline. And it rings and rings and rings. And then it allows, so then the answering machine that's connected to it, it says enter your remote access code. So they don't even have an answering machine that says, hey, this is Bob's Liquor. We don't have a drive-through. If you'd like to drink beer as a homeless bum in the back, come on after 4. Doesn't say any of that. So we're starting to unpeel this onion and realize that these are not highly intelligent business people in any way, shape, or form. They don't run the fucking liquor store properly. They certainly don't run the laundromat properly. The place is horrific. We want to give them something, but we have to communicate with them. When you're out there and you've done all the things and you found the store and you walked up to the clerk and you hopefully, did you buy a beer? Did you buy something?
Yeah, I did.
Good man. And you knew to do that because I told you, don't be a hole in the boat, a thorn in the side, an asshole. Don't walk up to the line at 6 p.m. on a Friday night and cut your way to the front and elbow your way in and say, hey, buddy, who owns this place? Wait in line, buy something. Hey, I'm interested in knowing the operator here. What's his name? How do I get in touch? The guy didn't do you any favors. Call the fucking number on the front of the sign. Yeah. Oh, thanks. And here we are. I know it's hard. Put on a pair of sunglasses. I was a PI for 12 years. The sunglasses are your invisibility cloak. That's how you become the guy you need to be so you can knock on doors and knock doors down.
Okay.
Trying again. Here we go.
All right,
so what? Whole lot of nothing happening here. They don't give a shit who calls. What would you say? I know what to say. Don't miss the lives. Sub. You got 50 people on the live YouTube waiting for this knucklehead to answer the phone. They probably evacuated. Ron, is this place in the goddamn fire district where everything's burning down right now?
No, it's in the opposite direction of all that.
Okay, so they're not avoiding phone calls because they've evacuated. That's not the problem here. All right, here we go. We'll keep trying. Stand by. Knowing what you know, audience, what would you say to try to get the operator of the liquor store and the landlord and the operator of the laundromat, all the same entity, the same guy. What would you say to get him on the phone, knowing what you know? Type it in. What would you say?
Please enter your remote
Access code. I'm going to try this a couple more times. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say, Ron, if you've got a Jedi mind trick and you are able to say, I need the landlord's number, and wave your hand, and this individual behind the counter just gives you his number or writes it down, that's one thing. But you don't. If you had the Jedi mind trick, you'd probably be in fucking Vegas playing cards, right? A little closer to that is the way that I conduct myself. You have to give someone something. That person that was working there when you walked in has the cell number for the guy. So ask yourself, how do I get him to give it to me?
Okay.
What about the food truck thing? The same thing. Hey, this is what I do, how I do it. Go in there with a fucking apron on. Buy the best tacos in LA County and give him one. Pretend like you made it. Yeah, that's what I do. Sorry, it's a little cold. I'm going to give you lunch for free and dinner on the way out. You, sir, are going to get it if I can put the food truck in the parking lot. I need the boss's number. Call him up. You're not going to give me his number. Call him up and tell him what I want to. Call him up and let me get it on the phone. Ring, ring.
Okay.
Chef Ron, yeah, how's it going? Yeah, I'm interested in doing the thing and putting a truck out here, and let's make it. Put on a Cajun accent, right? Yeehaw.
Okay.
Guarantee. And the guy says, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'd like to get a free lunch for a month. All right.
Yeah.
What's your number, bud? What's your name? And then write it down.
Got it.
I hope so. Here we are calling a liquor store. Just saying, you're the boots on the ground. You're the advance team. You're the eye in the sky. If you don't give me the look, a lot of people get pissed. Oh, we're on the phone for 30 seconds a week, Danny. Yep, because you didn't give me the proper information to get through to somebody. Here we go, fourth time. Now I know you subscribed because this type of shit is exciting. What would you say if and when someone answers? Hey, is the boss still there?
No, sorry, I left.
Ah. All right, take down my number, would you?
Yeah, what do you need from him?
This is a real estate deal. I was in there the other day. I don't know what I did with his card. Have him call me. Real estate. I'm not looking for a six-pack. My name's Danny.
Oh, okay.
D-A-N-N-Y.
Yeah.
Let me give you my cell phone.
480.
Oh, yeah, you see it written there. That's my cell phone number, the only number you need.
Oh, okay.
Excellent. What's your name?
Frank.
Thank you, Frank. Well, you know what? I lost his. What's the boss's name?
Sam.
Of course. Yeah. Have Sam dial me.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem.
Fucking masterclass.
I missed it. I didn't hear any of that.
I clicked you over toward the end.
All I got was okay. All
Yeah.
I got was Frank as the clerk and the boss's name Sam.
But that's a lot. That's all that, I mean, You understand, when I'm making conference calls, at some point I have to click together. And if somebody answers the phone and says blah, blah, liquor, and I go click, they're going to hear nothing and they're going to hang up. So sometimes there's going to be a couple second delay.
Okay.
So I created, did I not? By the way, you didn't hear it. I wrote it in the notes. It's too late to ask you what you would have said,
hey,
but I said, hey, is the boss still there? Now that's I'm going to break my arm patting myself on the back because I'm asking a question without using the guy's name. I'm indicating who he is, and I'm also indicating that I know something about him, don't I? What do I know about him?
His name? He's the landlord?
No. Just read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Read those 6 words. What does that indicate that I know about the boss?
Was he still there?
Jesus Christ, help me. You told me one tidbit of information about the boss, who we now know is Sam. What is it?
I do not know.
We only know one thing, and I've said it a dozen
He
times.
said, I told you.
He's a morning guy. He leaves early every day. The clerk told you that. Okay? So in that tiny 6-word query, I'm indicating who I want to speak with without knowing his name. I'm also letting Frank, and that's not his name, sorry, not sorry, that's not his name, and Sam is not the other guy's name. You're not going to go look up on Google Sam, the guy that owns Morin's Liquor. It ain't him. His name is Samien or something of that nature. You follow me, right?
Okay.
Maybe not. Hey, is the boss still there? No, he's gone. What do you want? Then I create another layer. Oh, it's a real estate deal. It's got nothing to do with the liquor store. It's not the small minutia, the dumb shit that you deal with. Yeah, but if I've ever met Sam or talked to Sam in the past, I would have had his number, wouldn't I? No, I don't know. I had his card. I lost it. Oh, another layer to the story. Speak eloquently. Talk loud and clear. You're a voice of authority. I didn't ask for his number because I know that Frank is told not to give his number out. He just is. Wouldn't give it to you, wouldn't give it to me. I'm not even going to ask. Have him call me. And then he says, oh, the 48, no, he's looking at his caller ID. Yeah, have him call me. What's his name? I forgot his name. Sam. What's your name? I'm sorry. What's your name? You see, I don't go in for the kill and ask what I really want to know. What's the boss's name? He's going to be like, First, ask him something that he can give the answer to. What's your name? Frank. What's the boss's name again? Sam.
Okay.
There's a lot going on, even though shit all didn't happen yet. We know this place is a piece of shit. We know they close at 4. We know that Sam on his way out is probably the guy that locks it up because he doesn't trust anyone there with the keys to the money or the laundry. And we also know we have a nerve we can press. You call it a negotiating point. And that nerve that we're pressing is, dude, for how many years are you going to drag your ass in here and lock the doors to that laundromat and continue to let the hobos live back there? How many years? And what's it worth to you? But this is all academic. This is just me talking about what I'm going to talk about. And I can't stand academia. And I will not dial the guy at 9 a.m. because he says that he's not there past 10. We call. When we call, we leave messages if we must. Now he's got my number. Real estate deal. Oh, well, I must be selling something. Do you want to bet $10,000 this guy calls me back? But we do have Frank. Frankie. There's some drunks that go in here that know Frank and call him Frank and think he's Frank. Frank, you got any Hennessy left? Let's see if we can get lucky on the next one. You've got another store. This isn't in the fire zone either, is it?
Wait, where is this? No, it's not.
There's an empty suite with a sign on it that says for lease. This place has 36 dryers, 48 dryers, 36 washers. And a picture is truly worth 1,000 words. It's not a complete shithole, but it's dingy, not necessarily dirty. Why? Because they have the old wash dry fold. They're trying to sit in there and make money selling dollar store soap. Ugh. It's swamp cooled. It doesn't have air conditioning. You can tell by the vents.
Really?
Yeah, really.
You know what? There's one photo. When you look at the tile, it has that glaze on there. Is that like water?
I don't know which picture you're talking about.
If you keep scrolling, you'll see where there's a camera. Then you'll see the vent.
Where there's a bunch of tin foil on.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Okay, let's start from the top and go down. How many pictures down?
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
In the 6th photo. Oh, you want to know if that's water? I mean, it's a swamp cooler. So yeah, you're wondering why is the roof leaking when it hasn't rained in 2 years in LA County? Yeah, that's water from the swamp cooler. Yeah. Water damage.
Doesn't it look like if it continues to accumulate, it's going to fall?
Oh yeah, that ceiling tile will come crashing down and smash onto somebody's head, but they won't die. Yeah. Awesome. Again, every one of these indications of failure are nerves that we press. I'm in a negotiation now with a landlord that doesn't want to provide air conditioning. Ah, fuck you. It's a laundromat. They don't need air. We're not going to do that. They need to spend $40,000 on HVAC? Yes, they do. Oh, we'll just vanilla the space. We'll get rid of the laundromat. Oh, and you're going to have an optometrist come in there and have a swamp cooler with shit dripping on somebody's forehead while they're trying to fix Bobby's braces? I don't think so. Again, a negotiation. I know it is laughable. It's so sad. It's funny. All right, cut your shit. I'm calling the number. Here we go.
All right.
Another opportunity. I'll get to your questions. Keep asking. I'm ready on the mute button.
Hi, you've reached Cameron, and I can't get your name, your number, and a brief message. I'll be sure to return your call as soon as I can.
Cameron. Hey, Cam, my name is Danny. I'm calling on some commercial space. Interested in leasing it from you. I want to give you a check. Call me back. Let me give you my cell phone, the only number that you need. That's my wireless. You can call or even send a text day or night. Thanks. Ron, you know this. Look, everybody thinks I'm going to be a realtor and I'm going to be the $1 million listing guy or a gal. I'm going to make $40 million next year. I'm going to end up with a house in the boo. But the reality is there are tiers and levels to everything. There's the guy that comes up with the Uber idea and the concept in his garage and becomes a billionaire, and then there's the Uber driver. Somewhere in between is middle class. These real estate agents who have signs in slumlord areas that say, call me, suck. So we have to play this game. And you know that better than most. You need to toe the line and do the thing. At least now we have a name. It didn't say, hey, this is XYZ Development Corporation. It said Cameron. I will save the number in my phone as I always do, linking it back to you. If he calls me from another number 3 times a day, sometimes 4, I check my messages. This is Cameron. Oh, that's the guy. Now I trap and traced another number. I'll put it into his contact, and I will text you, and we'll call him back together, as you well know. I hear back from him or our friend Sam, I will let you know. Find me some more stores.
Oh, and also thanks for that negotiating nugget, man. It's not about what I want. What can I give them? That was good. Yeah.
Everyone wants to say, here's what I want. Or the bullshit about here's what I'm going to give to the community because of my business. You give to the community and you earn profit. Every restaurant has food, service, and atmosphere. Every one of them. 3 things. That's all there is. You can't argue it. Food, service, and atmosphere. What's the most important thing?
Food.
The food. Absolutely. Without a doubt. You leave the house to eat. You've got an urge or a hankering for pizza. Or you've decided on steak or seafood. That craving can only be filled by that place where you've eaten before. And you know what? It's a greasy spoon. And the steak's amazing. It's perfectly cooked. You know the chef. But don't go in the bathroom. The bathroom's atmosphere. The gal that throws the steak on your plate, that's service. And we all know we go to places and we'll tell our friends about places that have great tacos or a great steak. She walks out, hey, your thumb's on my steak. I didn't want it to fall off again. Don't you shove that thumb up your ass. They only let me do that in the back. I know. Goodbye, Ron.
Oh, shit. All right, take care, man.
Now on to you, louts. We have a lot to discuss. I want to get into your New Year's resolutions. I read in Forbes that people have the same resolutions every year. Huh. That's pretty telling, isn't it? If you have the same resolution every year, probably means you didn't follow through with it. And mostly that resolution is a one-way, what? Negotiation. Something for me. Stop 100 people at the mall. I don't care the size, color, shape of that individual. They happen to have a bag. Barely do people really shop this time of Christmas. Stop them. What's in the bag? What do you mean? None of your business. Have a microphone, then they'll talk to you. Who's it for? Well, I came here to Christmas shop, but the thing in the bag is for me. I'm going to put some X's across as my own comment because, as you can see, this is me. And you guys, there's nobody else. Jump in the chat and ask your questions. What's your New Year's resolution? Don't feel bad if you made one. You don't have to do what I do or think the way that I think, unless you want to be good at everything. Mac says, hello, you loud. Hey, Mac. Go look it up. I love that word. You're all a bunch of louts. Good evening, Danny D'Angelo, king of Laundromat. Furzy from Madison. Hi. Wade says you're giving him his time back to do other things and make the same amount of money in rent as he was in trading his time working in the laundromat. Yes. It's a symbiosis, a give and take. And if you start to get into the weeds with these people about how the environment's going to be better and the people are going to be happier, they don't really give a shit. They want to line their pockets. Luis says you want to make the landlord's property more valuable. I'll allow that. You hear me saying, if you watch these lives or even my edited content, we're going to elevate the property. Of course. I have more to lose as a tenant than the landlord does as a landlord. How many of my clients, Wade can answer this, give a lease deposit? Let me give you a hint. Mother, none. And we have a lot of those themes. You're giving the time back to the owner. We don't use that word ever, Nathan. Landlord, operator, never owner. Everybody owns something, even if it's just a dog that followed you home. Too ambiguous of a term. Let's use the jargon. You're giving the time back to the landlord. In return, you're helping the center do better, which makes more money for the owner, the landlord. Nathan said it better, says Luis. Well, he took his time and probably redacted the original comment. Adam says, this landlord seems lazy as I'd pitch him on keeping a check for the rent while keeping an eye on the mall, making his life easier, at least in exchange for free laundromat. Yes, good. All the things. Let It Roll doesn't know the rules because your name is Let It Roll Snicklefletch 11 on YouTube. What the fuck is your name? I'm looking to lease some space. Oh, now we're into the area where I was saying, calling the number at the liquor store, what would you say? Guys, we assumed that the boss would not be there. So now I'm hearing your comments on what to say. I'm looking to lease some space. Yes, of course. But what would Frank have said in regards to that? Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Don't have any space. Don't give them that. Real estate means something ambiguous. And Sam may have more of it elsewhere. We don't know. Luis, long-term tenant potentially. These are the quotes as to what you guys would have said. Sure, but I'm talking about trying to get his name, trying to squeeze the guy's name out of him. Looking for a 15-year lease. Again, maybe I wasn't being specific. I was asking you kids, what would you say right in the moment, the absolute first thing to try to get his name? Eric says, I did the barbecue food truck trick and called during lunchtime. I called the adjacent tenant. I like it. Brian says, all right, let's get to the meat of it. I said it was simple, and it is. I like that. Anthony. Now we are probably in the point in the comments when I had already made the call. If you're just joining us, you need to go back and rewatch this. Even though not much happened, it's the little things. Even with a horrific chest cold, look at Danny. Anthony says, lol, you motherfucker. Don't write LOL. Masterclass, beautiful. Edward tries to get my goat by saying, hi, Danny, how are you? Oh, how's it going, Ed? How you been?
Try not to be an idiot.
Jose says, I would say I'm interested in signing a... Okay. Guys, we know how to pull out all the Dannyisms. The point of this was, how do we, with or without subterfuge, get someone that answers this damn phone in a liquor store to give you information? So if I said, I'm interested in signing a long-term lease, invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in space and getting you back to the landlord so you have a full question to the liquor store. Yes, that comes later. Ed, things are moving forward. I have already found an E2 lawyer here in Israel. Ed's just going to jump right in, man. He doesn't give a shit about what we're all talking about. Ed just walked into Thanksgiving dinner and he's like, my fucking transmission's broke. Did you want a plate? Kill shot. Thanks, Ed. Things are moving forward. I have already found an E2 lawyer here in Israel and had an appointment with him. And today I applied for my LLC registration. We're all proud of you, Ed. I'm waiting for the EIN number so that I can get the EIN number. Love it. Nathan says, I do love my Hennessy. All right. We all know what that means. Travis, are there certain improvements by law that the landlord has to fix because of, say, for example, a faulty leaking swamp cooler that results in mold, damaged tiles, etc., and that is tenant improvement? Yes and no, Travis, but the preponderance of the fixes, and not by law, are going to be in the lease. 99.997% of leases, it is a known thing that the landlord's responsible for the roof. Right up to and about the moment that it falls in and crashes in on somebody's head. The 4 walls and the roof, the 3 walls and the roof. The 3 walls because they can't fall in on you, and the roof because it can't do the same and shouldn't leak on you. In retail space, the 4th wall is glass, and we've talked about that extensively. You have to ask them to fix the glass if it's broken up front, to deliver it in brilliant new condition. But once you're in there, the glass gets broke, it's on you, just like you need extra glass protection in your car. Interesting, because the glass breaks so often. They want you to get $100 for that little glass rider on your insurance. Their insurance companies getting charged $1,000 every time. You're really lucky if a pebble never hits your glass. But it's also a very fearful question, Travis. I'm afraid to sign a lease because I want to put the landlord's feet to the fire legally. You don't want to get in legalese with the landlord. One of my little inside secrets.
Unknown caller.
Oh my God, it's an unknown caller. Do we dare? No, we'll leave that for later because it's outside the state. I like the way the voicemail will tell us what's going on. Now we're getting into the resolutions. If you guys have them, jump in to the top chat and let us know. Travis says, I don't have a resolution. I have a goal, strategy, actions to execute. It's a new year. That just means more time has passed and we are all older. What a cynical thing to say, Travis, you old bastard. And when I communicate with you guys, I hope you know, you might think I know who you are, and I don't. A few of you I do, but most of the time I'm just going by what it says your name is. Nick Man says, kill shot. Sorry.
There's that word again.
There's that word again. Oh boy, let it roll. What does goodwill mean? Goodwill is the intangible thing that lets you know that McDonald's makes a shitty hamburger the same way every day. Goodwill is the magic bullshit sauce that they try to sell you when they're selling you a business. If I start Danny's Jewelry on the street corner of 4th and Main Street in Phoenix, Arizona tomorrow, I've got no goodwill. No one knows that store. No one knows if I'm selling fake plated jewelry. But across the street, there's Zach's Jewelry. EST, 1951. They established this place almost 150 years ago. 75 years ago. Been there a while. Everybody knows Zach's. My wife's wedding ring got a loose stone. I brought it in and Zach fixed it for free. All of the intangible, and it's not reputation. Goodwill is the word for the reputation that they try to place a value on. And you can go look it up, bro. You can Google what is goodwill in a business. And no, it's not used clothes. I'm giving you my definition. And in laundromats, there's almost never any of it because the operator doesn't give a shit about the consumer. When we run our stores, we run them in such a way that there's tons of it. They may not know who you are, but they like your business. Good afternoon, Danny, from Anthony. Working on it still. I talk to a lot of people every day, deal with emails every day. So when you say, Anthony, that you're working on it still, I don't know what you mean. Did speak to a lease agent who's a friend of a friend regarding a laundromat. Owner is open to discussing possibility. Not happy with operator. I want to say this to you, Anthony. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have my number? Are we working together? Because if you're getting that deep, if you're dealing with landlords because you don't want to spend a few dollars to bring in someone like me, you're probably going to fuck it. And those of you that know me know that this is not a sales thing with me. I would hate to see you end up in a position where you lose. Keep bringing up those resolutions, guy. Adam says a New Year's resolution is save $50,000 liquid from my current business, so I'm ready to diversify in another income stream, strongly considering laundry. Okay. Save. Poor people spend money, Adam. Middle class save money. Are you a 9-year-old trying to buy a bike for your birthday? The rich invest it. There's good debt, there's bad debt. Most of the poor don't understand the difference. The middle class saves their money. Figure out a way to leverage that money. I know you said not to make a call, but it was a friend of mine, so I went with it. Again, we're back to Anthony. Okay. Your friend is such a good friend that he's going to lose when it comes to this business deal? Because trust me, there is no such fucking thing as win-win. Someone has to lose for someone to win. Didn't say your best friend. But again, here we are. You're utilizing my time on a live, and I don't blame you, on YouTube. And what I'm telling you is, let's consult. Oh, gee whiz, Danny, what do you charge? Doesn't matter. You got my cell phone number forever. I don't charge by the hour, by the minute, by the session. I don't do a fucking Zoom call with you. It's my cell phone number. Lee, I thought we didn't need a lawyer to get our first laundromat business with Danny. I overhead the conversation. I thought we didn't need a lawyer to get our first laundromat business with Danny. Every single time anyone ever, Lee, is signing a lease, they're about to sign it, I'm going to say to them, which you've heard on my lives, you need a lawyer. That's officially out of the way. You're about to sign a legal contract that's binding. And then as your buddy, as your friend, I'm telling you, you don't. There can be nothing in a lease that is going to hurt you. Luckily, we live, most of us, I know I'm helping folks in other countries, such as Israel, like you heard here, but most of us are in America, where there's no debtor's prison. And that lease cannot say, for instance, if you miss a month's payment, we will take your eldest son out to the river and stone him. I'm being facetious, or am I? In countries like Taiwan, the tenant holds all the marbles, the landlords, and that's how it should be here. Again, you're the one putting your neck in the noose. You're the one, if your Braille dartboard business fails, so what? Okay, now Anthony's back at it. My wife's Marcella, you spoke to us. Okay, good. Thanks for the info. So you have my number, and the point is, you don't need to ask me a bunch of questions here on a live. You guys all know what I'm doing, don't you?
Hello, Danny.
Hits you different when you're on a live video, huh?
Yeah, I almost didn't pick up. No, I'm joking. Yes. How's it going?
Not into small talk, you know that. Merry New Year. So what
Yeah.
what are you telling me? You called a landlord, or your buddy gave you a number? I'm confused.
Yeah, a good friend of mine I went to school with. His friend is one of the guys for the lease realtors there on that building. I didn't talk to the main person who's on that board, on that listing. As he mentioned, that guy is a jerk.
All right. I don't know any. Just give me the highlights. There's a 5,000 square foot
Yeah, they're looking
laundromat
for
that is
somebody.
open.
It's about 4,600 square feet. They're looking for somebody perhaps new now. The guy's
Not
behind.
Not enough. It's 4,600 square feet. It's still operating, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but barely. Yeah, it's hanging on. It's not in good shape.
Shitty
They're looking for somebody
equipment.
new. He's been there 15 years.
Who's they?
Yeah, shitty
They
equipment.
are
Been there
looking for
15
someone
years.
new. Who's they?
The owner of the building is up for
What do we
someone
call
else
the owner of the
to be in the
building?
location. Landlord.
You can't even communicate to me what you're doing here. We got a almost 5,000 square foot laundromat. It's still operating, but poorly. The equipment is all. What's wrong with the store? Quickly, what's wrong with the store?
It's in bad shape.
That's
Machines
pretty
aren't
quick.
working.
What time do they
Bad
close?
shape. Everything's 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. That means 8:30 is the last wash, and they're beating people back with a broom. Who works in the store?
And they open at 7. There's a lady, a young girl who's
Hourly.
working there presently. Yeah, hourly.
Under the table, risking everything.
I'm sure.
Because they're paying her under the table, friend of the family, whatever it is.
There's
right?
2 of them that work there.
We're painting quite a picture. And by the way, for the
Friday.
cheap seats, you and I are consulting. That's why I have your phone number. But you have not decided to move forward and have me negotiate the lease, and that's the end all be all. We're not in that tier yet, and so you're feeling out this guy. So a friend of yours knows the landlord, and you called the landlord.
No, I called the realtor. I didn't call the landlord, no.
The landlord doesn't want to talk to you because he has a realtor. You're only ever going to talk to the realtor. That's who I would talk to.
Yeah, that's who I'm speaking. That's who I spoke to.
How did it go?
It went well.
What's the lease rate?
Yeah, it went well. 135 square foot. That's what they're asking.
Don't tell me the city. What state is this in?
Palm Springs, California. Gave you the city.
What's the rate of rent in the other suites in that mall?
That I haven't found out yet. I didn't get to that.
Okay. When he said $1.30, he told you $1.35?
He told me. I didn't even ask him. He just mentioned it to me.
But what'd you say?
I said, okay.
Oh, you instantly didn't say, well, that's great. You're asking for market. You're asking for market rate, but it doesn't matter. Telling him you'll get back to him, you've already lost the momentum. You've lost the initiative, because a good, strong laundromat operator who understands what they're doing would laugh out loud at $1.35 a square foot, would make a noise, would say, oh, well, that's never going to happen with a laundromat, I'm afraid. And I don't want you to think that this is a poor business or we can't afford it, but we make the preponderance of our money on Sunday and we play catch up the rest of the week. And also the difference between me and your current operator, I'll be spending $500,000 on equipment. Whether that's the real number or not, we all know it's not, but he doesn't. And then you shut up at some point. You've made this huge end road in the conversation, but you cannot allow him to hang up the telephone having told you $1.35 and thinking that you're okay with it, because the fact that you didn't balk about it instantly does two things. Makes him figure that, oh, okay, well, He's going to go for our ask. And what's the other thing? What else happened on the call?
Well, I did mention to him that we're looking to retool the building. We'll roughly spend about a 15-year lease, would acquire a 15-year lease with that. And he said, okay. And like I said, the guy's behind on payment, owes the owner money. So he's not happy with the tenant. So he is open to discussion of possibilities of bringing someone else on. And I told him, okay. He would hear from me shortly or soon, and kind of left it at that.
What's the next step?
Well, I'm gonna get you on. That's why I didn't really continue on with.
You could lead with that. And I want to say this. I'm begging you, it's too late for you. Do you realize that you've already made this harder for me?
Yeah.
Obviously, no, you don't, because you would have said yes already and you wouldn't have done it. Do you realize you've already made it harder for me to do the job and get you a good deal? Do you?
Not fully realizing, no, but I know, yeah.
No, not at all. No, or you wouldn't have made the call. Why? Why is it harder for me now to do the job and go to the jugular and get this done for you and get you the best plausible lease rate?
Well, I screwed it up for the most part. I mean,
Why?
I already spoke to him.
I don't. Why'd you screw it? Why? Why should you not have talked to him? Why?
Because you're the negotiator.
No.
I should have allowed someone professional like yourself to do it.
But why? Why? If you agree with me, you'll understand. You would have never picked up the phone and felt him out. I tell people over and over, let's start with if you're thinking of bringing me on board, don't call the landlord or their agent or whomever's in charge of the lease. Why? Because I don't want you to feel them out. That's why you did it. You want to see if it's plausible or possible. But I already told you why it's bad. Because he said $1.35 and you said nothing. If I was the one that made initial contact, bro, I'm not upset.
Right.
I don't care if you ever hire me. I care that you don't muck this up for you and your wife and kids. That's what I care about. Right. If it were me on the phone, let me just ask instead of putting words in your mouth. If it were me making that call, do you think it would have gone differently?
Of course.
Okay. No sour grapes, but here's the thing. When someone says we want that tenant out, I say, well, let's negotiate a lease immediately contingent on the exit of that tenant. You don't want that tenant. I don't want to throw the guy out. I can't throw the guy out. I just want another successful coin laundromat. And it will never be run the way it is now. Let's talk terms.
Right.
I don't suppose you mentioned abatement, free rent. That's hard. You get a frog in your throat, right? How hard was your heart pounding when you called him?
Not at all, because
I
felt comfortable with him being a friend. No, just felt comfortable with him.
The landlord's agent is your friend?
No, my friend referred me to the agent.
Okay.
Which he worked for my buddy's company. They have there are commercial brokers out here. So the agent who I spoke to works for my buddy's company.
Good. Excellent. When you allow me to make initial contact, I'm calling up and saying, I'm Danny. My partner's name is Anthony. When they see the letter of intent come across their desk, everything that's on the LOI has already been discussed. There are no surprises. And they see that you are the guarantor. Many times, and it's been on my lives, they call or they email and they say, I'm not understanding your relationship. And I say, well, I'm a mouthpiece. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to make sure Anthony does this properly. Here's my experience. Here's his. You know that. You've seen it.
Right.
But many, many folks get in this boat where they say, oh, it's a friend of a friend. I'm going to call him up. I'm going to feel him out. It's not the end of the world, but you're making it harder for me to do the job, and I'm not going to harp on it. It's more difficult for me to pick up the pieces later. You call a plumber. Hey, how much to install a toilet? I hope the plumber has questions, right? You can't just ask that. Well, do you have the toilet? Yeah. Am I installing a toilet or am I replacing a toilet? You're replacing a toilet. All right, so the plumbing's there. Did you buy the toilet? Yes. Did you buy the wax ring? Yes. $300. Okay. Well, I started to do the work. $600. Waiting for you to laugh, but maybe you're not listening to me.
I'm hearing you.
You understand?
I got you.
I don't want to come in your kitchen. I hope your toilet's not in your kitchen. I don't want to come in your bathroom and have to worry about what you mucked up.
Right.
It's fine, not the end of the
I got
world.
it.
But you've heard me say, if you're thinking of bringing me on board, don't communicate with the landlord. How many times have you heard me say it?
Many times.
Many times.
Many times on your videos. Yeah.
But I do charge money, and it is X amount of dollars. And when you pay it, I'm going to be your sword and your shield. So if you're thinking of doing that, or anyone in the cheap seats is doing that, or thinking of doing that, by the way, please, I asked you not to say the city, and you did. What I charge changes every year. Of course it does.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything else.
Right.
What else would you like to ask instead of asking it in the top chat during a live?
No, that's it.
All right.
That's it, Danny.
This guy calls,
Thank
texts, sends a carrier pigeon. If, that's the operative word, if,
There's that word again.
if you're thinking of bringing me on, stop talking to this guy.
You got it.
Please. Thanks, buddy.
You got it.
Say hi to the wife.
Take care.
Can you imagine you've got my telephone number and a never-ending, bottomless consultation, and you're going to go into a live stream in the top chat and ask questions? I don't know. Just me. Danny, JP here. Why polished concrete? It doesn't stain with detergent spills? Wouldn't epoxy be better? Holy shit, bro. You want to epoxy your floor in your garage? That's adorable. Great. You want to park your Corvette on top of it? Better wait 6 months to do that, because as soon as you turn the tire, it's going to pop. It's going to look like shit. How many photos have you seen of laundromats with epoxied floors? Is it going to stain with detergent spills? So what? I've been in bars and restaurants with polished concrete floors with stains from beer bottles and whiskey. It's cool. It's industrial. Don't go putting fucking epoxy on the floors in a laundromat, because then you've got little edges of epoxy and the rest is gone from foot traffic, laundry carts, and you moving machines in and out. Sorry, I get emphatic, not angry. I'm emphatic because I say, hey, do this. And then JP says, why not that? And I know you're just asking. You're not telling me it's better. You're asking. And there's your answer, buddy. I'm a little sick. Happy New Year, everyone, says Kabir. My resolution is no analysis paralysis, investment property, and possibly a laundromat. Okay, good. How much is the investment property going to cost you? Be realistic. People say to me all the time, I love to travel and I have real estate. Let's drill down on that. When's the last time you left the county, much less the state, much less the country? Well, when I got married 10 years ago, my wife and I went on a cruise to Cabo. Oh, tell me about your real estate. I have a trailer. Real estate costs money. Don't let anyone tell you different. So do laundromats. You're going to be retooling them. They do. Take the free word and throw it out. Oh, Danny said it's free. Nothing's free. Lee, I'm not getting a lawyer. I trust you, Danny, not spending extra money. No lawyer. Well, don't put that in writing. Ed says New Year's resolutions are complete nonsense. Just work every day to achieve a goal, and the most important thing is to stick to it. That's right, Ed. Good job, buddy. The word of the day is landlord.
There's that word again.
Curbs says there's a vacant shop in a town I want to open a new store in. The landlord says he doesn't want a laundromat without really giving any more info through the agent. Any advice? Kirby in Australia. Kirby, if I hear you right, you're saying you want to take empty space and build a laundromat. Don't fucking do it.
Try not to be an idiot.
Curbs. Kirby. How many laundromats are in that town? I don't give a shit if it's 0. Don't build one. If your goal is profit, go to the nearest town where there's a dozen laundromats, scoop up some of those. You won't be paying for infrastructure, EPA fees. They're everywhere, even where the toilets flush backward. The $50, $60, $100, $200,000 in infrastructure costs to build a laundromat. All that is before you put one washer or dryer into that space. You want a laundromat so badly that you're talking to landlords about letting you do it, trying to talk him into it. And you know what? He's right. He knows more than you do, because if you build one, you'll fail and he won't be able to collect the rent. If your goal is profit, let's turn the frown upside down. If your goal is profit, go scout stores, communicate with landlords, or have me do it, sign a lease, retool it. Every dime you spend will be on your future success in the properly allocated and purchased equipment. For the love of God, do not, any advice, do not build a laundromat. I have 100 videos on the topic. Travis, the reason you don't need a lawyer for a lease is because landlord-tenant lease contracts are pretty standard. When Danny helps negotiate, the important parts are negotiated and agreed upon in the contract. Thank you, Travis. That is true. Well put. Nick says, Curb, you want to store the existing infrastructure. Thank you. Curbs, most of our stores are built from scratch. They have always performed better than taking over existing stores. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Why are you trying to make it sound like it's different in Australia? I've got successful clients all over Australia. Most of our stores are built from scratch. Someone builds one and it remains a laundromat. Put the equipment in. You don't have to listen to us, dude. You won't come back here in 5 years to this channel, to my top chat, when I'm a little grayer, and say, you know what, everybody was right. Sorry. Yeah, Peter says, can you elaborate? He can't elaborate because he doesn't know. I'm not trying to make an enemy of you, Curbs. You don't know. You don't know. You're ignorant. Stop doing that, Luis.
There's that word again.
Australia's a different market. My area essentially doesn't already have an abundance of laundromats. What the fuck did I say a minute ago, Kirby? Go somewhere that does have an abundance. There's a reason there's no abundance of laundromats in your area, because they don't need them. If they were needed, they'd exist. Is there an abundance of coffee houses? If your goal is profit, don't go build a laundromat. Please listen to the first part of that statement.
Kill shot.
Robert says, hello, hello, hi. Oh my God, Curbs is a pro. I built 3 from scratch before. I know what I'm doing. Send me an email, Curbs. I want to see the pictures of your laundromats. Kabir, it's a multi-unit. Why is he on here asking me questions about what he should do with a landlord and lease? He's already built 3 of them. Don't troll here, bud. It's a multi-unit property, $200,000, going to need some renovation. Done on it, though. That was the property that Kabir is going to be buying. Okay, good. As long as you see the profit on the wall. Is a closed laundromat, Eric wants to know, still worth looking at if the demographic has changed to higher salary households, less rented units? Yes. Yes. as long as the infrastructure is there. Now, Curbs is screaming at the top of his lungs with all his comments. Mate, we've talked before. You're treating me like shit. This upsets me. We've talked how? Do you have my number? Dude, you're in business and you're out there doing things and you're gonna, what do you mean we've talked before? Where? The only Kirby I have in my entire phone are 3 landlords and a guy whose last name is Kirby, and he's not there. Oh, Facebook. We've talked on Facebook. Let's go through the history of you, Kirby, in Australia on this particular thing. We've talked on Facebook, which is not real. I'm not saying we didn't do it, but okay. I conduct just about zero business on Facebook, by the way. If those of you that have ever messaged me on there know that like once a year I go in and clear everything out. I think I have 999 friend requests right now. I just looked at that the other day. I don't see that as a real viable thing. So Kirby and I have talked on Facebook. He went in here into a chat on a live. Hey Siri, what time is it in Australia?
In Canberra, Australia,
Canberra.
it's 10:53 a.m.
Good morning. And he doesn't like the way I'm talking to him. I was just curious, says Kirby, about how you would approach a landlord who thinks he doesn't want a laundromat. All good, no worries. I'm so glad you're not worried. I wouldn't, because I wouldn't build them. If you have found success building 3 laundromats, email me so we can talk about it. If you've found success building 3 laundromats, imagine the fucking success if you took over existing shops. Don't tell me that it's different there. There's tons of people in these United States who buy laundromats and find a level of success. And so you know what they do? They sell courses on how to buy a laundromat. Does that mean that that is the easiest way to profit? Maybe it is. Does it mean it's the best way to profit? Maybe it is. I'm just the guy over here that says, don't buy or build a laundromat. And I'm going to tell you, Kirby, the same thing I tell everyone. Don't do it. Go do 3 more without without building the business from scratch. Tell me how you do. It's morning over here, mate. Oh, we got another one on here. Big Dave, do you go to Kirby's Laundromats? What do you think of them? Wade says Wade's in Canada. We got 3 countries going. Canada, me, down under, all here on this live. Wade says, the only thing Danny likes about Facebook is Marketplace, where he finds the best deals to buy laundromats. Shut the front door. What the are you talking about?
Kill shot.
Do washer machines spin the opposite way in Australia? Yes, of course they do. Absolutely, but not in the way you think, mate. They spin upside down here. We've lost control of this shit.
Try not to be an idiot.
And never LOL, Dave. Damn it. Curbs is back. I also took over a big wash and a bag wash and changed to self-service, and it never performed as well as the others. You gave me advice on Facebook on how to start a fluff and fold in the store. Oh, good. I'm glad I helped you, buddy. And now your feelings are all butthurt. You got free advice from me that saved you and made you more money, and here you are. Don't build a laundromat. I will stick to it. We've turned the whole conversation around. Yay.
There's that word again.
Junior says, hey, Danny. Pete says, Danny, you talked about hard mounts before. Just saw a distributor. I immediately think about machine guns when you say that. Just saw a distributor talk about soft mount and the higher G-forces making the clothes more dry. but that would mean less profit from the dryers, right? Correct. It's a give and take. Everybody's trying, it's a distributor, bro. He's trying to sell you something. Oh, shit. We also got a German man in Israel. Yes, thank you, Ed. Let's hit the top chat, everybody. What country are you in? Don't care if it's America. If it's America, just give me the state. If it's another country, let me know where that be. Go. Come on, there's fucking 51 of you in here. Where are you at? What state? If not a state, what country? I'm gonna read this off. I need to go take some Dayquil. Maybe NyQuil. It's hard to say. Maybe vodka. Come on, go, hit me. Hey, Danny Jr. from Toronto, Canada. I knew that. I'll have a few spots for you to call. Let's fucking go. Wade, who I know is from Canada. I have soft mounts. They went up to 450 Gs. Also, dryers don't profit you much. Washers pay the bills. Correctamundo. Junior says, get the course, folks. Junior's in Toronto. Noah! Are you ever not on a live, Noah? Noah put a Canadian flag. Thank you. Let It Roll is in California. I hope you're not on fire. You know, I created this thumbnail for this video 2 days ago. And now here it is. California's burning. Nostra fucking Damus.
Kill shot.
That's me.
Kill shot.
I can sound exactly like myself.
Kill shot.
In stereo. California. David's in Maine. Big Dave's in Sydney, Australia. Peter, Sweden, but want to start laundromats in the U.S. Fucking A, Peter. E2 immigration status, bro, will slick you through like whale shit through an ice flow. Travis is in Florida. Eurostar Remodeling is in Madison. We know that. Axel's in North Carolina. Robert is in Texas, USA. Fuck yeah. Concealed carry. Constitutional. Seuss, Texas. Freddie, Arizona. Yo, Freddie. Akil, Washington, D.C. Missouri, New Jersey. Well, there's 52 of you on here, and about 40 of you are fucking assholes who aren't telling us, or maybe you're not paying attention, or maybe you have an earpiece and you're an over-the-road truck driver and you're afraid to text on your phone. Tell us where you're from. Travis, NyQuil and vodka sounds like a drink that college kids make when they're sick. Haha, that is funny. Kabir's in Georgia. Come on, let's go. I'm going to put some X's so I can get back to your comments as to where you are, because I want to read you this email. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, boy. Austin wrote me an email at 10:30 this morning that I've already responded to, and he basically said, my brother and I have been scouting laundromats and yada, 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 and he's got an amount, and he says, our question is, he tells me about all the talks they've had with the guy. They're offering him a pretty good rate, and they don't want to give them more than 3 months of rent abatement. They asked for 15 and they got 3. And this is a question from someone that has seen my course. I assume they paid for it once and they shared it with brothers. That's okay. But they're emailing me a lot of questions and I answer those emails. Please understand, I'm happy. I would rather talk on the phone. I'd rather charge you a few dollars and make it simple where you can text me, we can get on a call, we can bullshit. But what they are doing is negotiating a lease. And we've just heard from Anthony on this very call how I feel about that. And please understand, it's not about selling you some bullshit. It's about making sure you don't stick your neck in a noose and sign a lease that's going to lose you money. We're fine with the rent amount increases. We're going to beat them up over an already exceptional gross lease rate. The abatement is way too little. Time to make it for the amount reasons you teach and preach. We also asked for some TI, tenant improvement money, that wasn't mentioned in the email. You can't do that. You can't ask for TI and an LOI. They also, by the way, this is what I wanted to come across. They pulled my letter of intent by pausing the course and typed out what they could see. Why didn't you just email me, bro? I'll send you my LOI with one caveat. Don't send it until you have a discussion or let me do it. Our question is, do we just let it sit for a while? We're thinking like 90 days and then follow up. Yeah, so you let it sit for 90 days and then your argument is made simpler because you say, you were only going to give us 3 months rent abatement and now 3 months has gone by. We need 15. But the fear is, and you're fearful because you're new to this, is they're going to lease it to someone else in the interim. And that is a healthy fear. Waiting is the hardest part. Those of you working with me know that. I wanted to hit you with this other email. Oh, this is great. This is the greatest. Totally great. This is the email I wanted to read to you. This morning at 9:30 a.m., I've already responded to it. He might not like my response. Let's just say the guy's initials are KT. This is the whole email, guys. Is this a good laundromat business to buy or lease? Question mark. Washers, 2 60-pounders, 820, 740. Total of dryers, 20 stack dryers, 2 single side-by-sides. I'm not learning much from you? Question mark. I might need my refund back. Out of the blue, this person writes this to me, and I'm happy to say it to you. He's got my toll-free number. I wish to God this person would call me. He's not learning much. Obviously, you're not learning shit. I don't know if you've seen the course. I'm seeing this email. Is this a good laundromat business to buy or lease? And then he gives me a list of washers. I'm not learning much from you, question mark. I might need my refund back. If I knew who you were, you can have, oh God. I've always guaranteed the course 100%. No one's ever returned it. And then if you open your store, you get that refund back. I give you the tuition because I want to hear from you. This is just funny to me. Great communicator, KT. If you're listening, jump in the comments and let me know. We'll get you straightened out, bud. Is this a good laundromat business to buy or lease? How am I supposed to react to that? Yeah, sounds great. Buy as many as you can get your hands on. That's the whole email. Max in Georgia, I think we knew that. RJ's in Nolans. Keep your chin up, buddy. Up in your face YouTube, Toronto. What a name. Luis, hi Danny. Luis from Florida. Thank you, Luis. Way to write. Appreciate that. Ricky, truck driver, Central Valley, California. Just bought the silly course this morning. Good, buddy. Please don't send me an email asking me if this is a good deal to buy or pet. This guy's name is Warm Dr. Pepper Lemon Whiskey. Oh, sounds like gross, but smooths the sick soul. Love it. Where are you from? Junior. It's true, folks. Do not call the landlord. I got excited once and failed. Oh, Junior. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Rook. I'm here for it. Background image title in one of your videos starting running laundromats in 5 bros. It's one of my laundromats. Oh, look at that. One of your laundromats in Australia ended up in the background in one of my YouTube videos from the 5 boroughs in New York. That is funny. You're welcome. I said thank you. Well, you probably heard that. So sorry that I hurt your feelings, buddy.
Try not to be an idiot.
You honestly sound as though you are embroiled in the business, Kirby, to such, don't LOL. You're not a 12-year-old girl. It sounds to me as though you are embroiled in the business to a degree that you need somebody in your pocket that is not there to screw you, and that can be me. I'd happily jump on a consultation with you, just saying. I make it very easy. Have you seen my course? You must have seen my course. Kirby. Travis, that email makes no sense. It's the whole point to not buy a laundromat. Sounds like he didn't study the course. Who knows what he's talking about? I might need it's hard, man, when you speak a bunch of languages or only one poorly. I'd rather be well-spoken than well-read. Come on, I'm waiting, Kirby. We're all waiting, Kirby. Kirby.
There's that word again.
Have you seen the silly course? I don't want to make assumptions. Freezing balls today in Toronto. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's one of the things we say, isn't it? All right, we've run out of questions. Yes, I got your vids. Good. Well, go to the last course video and smash the button. Let's talk for reals. I'm going to do more and more of these things on the bigger picture stuff for you guys, and I appreciate you. I want everyone to go. You're watching this video evergreen, and it's not in the live in the top chat. I want you to go comment. 55 of you. Tell me what we should make the common thread in the comments. Tell me from this video, those of you who've seen the whole thing, what should be the common thread? Peter says, I've seen so many laundromats for sale between 500,000 and 900,000. One listing even said, new swamp cooler. I've learned so much from you just from YouTube. My first live today. Thanks, Danny. Well, thank you, Peter. Stop being an idiot.
Try not to be an idiot.
And get the silly course. Not to give me a few dollars, and it is very inexpensive, but so that you can fill in the gaps. And all the information is in one place. Believe it or not, the best place to get really, really good info is watching these lives of mine. But it's an hour and a half of this, and, you got to learn how to cull through the bullshit.
There's that word again.
And the fun and the entertainment to find the real info. And the course puts it all in one place. We try. No one? Bueller? Don't call a landlord unless you know how to negotiate. I have been brought on board with a lot of real estate agents. I've worked for a lot of attorneys and a lot of people that do negotiate well. Firemen, police officers, one particular policeman whose badge is gold, who's also a negotiator. His story was funny because he said, I negotiate people off of cliffs. Tell them not to jump. Don't shoot your wife. Don't stab your child. I got to be nice. You, Danny, are the opposite. Not really. Big compliment when those policemen or lumberjacks say, you know what, I have to hire you because I can't do what you do. Thank you. You don't need to belittle yourself or your abilities as a man. On this very, very call, I think the high point was getting a kid on the phone and finding out the boss man's name. That's all. It's a small thing. Without the ability to Jedi mind fuck anybody. Noah says, even if you know how to negotiate, doesn't mean you are well versed in the laundromat business. That's correct. That's a good point. I think I'd rather really, really know a business well than be able to negotiate well. And if you can do both, you can get that barber shop at a song, or that nail salon, or that laundromat, because that landlord or his agent really wants to hear that you are well versed in the business you're trying to operate. Not a newbie, not someone who has no gift of gab. I don't have a script here. I don't have something off screen that's telling me what I should say, and you probably tell, right?
Try not to be an idiot.
I don't have a direction. Half of the time when we do a live, I change the title of the video because it doesn't match what we went through, what we did, our shared experience. Peter wants to know, Danny, do you always negotiate over the phone? Do you sometimes meet the landlords or brokers in person? Never, ever. When I'm doing my own stores locally, I would never meet with the landlord because it's that Italian handshake. I don't have the time to go meet with some landlord. This amazing invention. Let's talk about it. Let's see let's see if you're crazy, if I'm crazy. If not, we meet somewhere in the middle. We send the LOI. No. Think about it that way. And I know you didn't. A lot of the folks the landlords that own buildings who have English as a second or third language, they want to meet in person mostly because they're good at reading lips, body language. Doesn't matter. Nope, you're good. Your English is exquisite. Let's talk this over. And that makes it nice because I'm negotiating on your behalf, whether you're in Canada, Israel, the 28 countries I've done this, or around the corner. No, I'm going to meet with you. It's not an excuse. There's no reason for it. Alex says, new to watching your videos, certainly good info. Thanks for the knowledge. Question. So do you never buy a laundromat from the laundromat owner? Do you wait for it to be owned by the leasing? Yes, get the course. What's the good price? $300,000 that they're asking for their failure? 150? There is no good price. There's too many fish in the sea. Travis, exactly, Noah. I didn't properly complete the statement. There's a distinction with a difference. I don't know what you guys are talking about amongst yourselves. Big Dave says the areas I'm scouting are mostly low-income areas. The only existing mats in these areas are a very successful laundromat, 9 locks in 3 group. A very successful laundromat group, 9 locations, 3 states. Should be going to against Goliath as a newbie. Sure. If profit is your goal, and guess what? A lot of times people see these big stores. Is it a chain? Is it a franchise? Are they really making money in there? Look closely. Don't just see the sign and assume they're doing well. Go in and scout those stores too. Let's find out what they're doing. Do they own the buildings or is it leased space? If they are franchising, they're selling a bill of goods and the people that purchase them aren't making money. I can't tell you how many of those big guys we've scooped up because we call the landlord. You can ask me a million different scenarios. What about this laundry, Danny? Call the landlord. What about this one? Call the landlord. What about, this is different and unique. No, it's not. Call the landlord. What's the worst they could say? Yes.
There's that word again.
Any advice for strategies to compete against those established stores, including 2 in my area? I personally scouted the two in my area, all 24 hours, both immaculate, clean, new machines running constantly. The 2 in my area, you keep saying 2 in my area, are always busy. I don't know where you are, Dave, but if you go on the outskirts of town where there are other stores that are failing because of these big guys, that's the MO. Take those places over. Earn your profit. Bring the people in. You're doing the same thing that the, quote, big guys are doing. There is no Goliath. No one gives a shit about their name. No one cares who runs or operates them. They just care about the things you just mentioned, that they are 24 hours. And I guarantee all the small stores aren't. And if you must, would you drive an hour for a $400,000 a year salary? I don't have to wait for the answer. Maybe you have to drive an hour to the nearest town where these behemoths don't exist. And I'm happy to answer specific questions like that with you, Dave, but get the silly course, get my phone number. Oh, I'm right. I love it when I'm right. It's boring. Each and every one of you, 58 of you on here, I'm going to burn this thing down. I'm going to say Merry New Year. And I want you to go into the comments in the regular video and tell them, this is an inside thing. The reason that we do this is somebody's watching this video later and they say, what in the hell are all these comments about? Let's make it easy. Your resolution or a horrible dad joke. Either one. Goodbye.
Try not to be an idiot.